Hello and welcome to the warehouse, my ibby shibbies. It's me, Brad, aka You're a Drama Queen 1014. And here we are for another recap / review for Rupaul's Drag Race. Season 11, Episode 9, L.A.D.P. Now, I'm gonna do like kind of a lazy edit with this. I'm gonna try to record as a live because again, I have so much to do and I'm so busy with things, but I'll do as much as I can. Alright, and I'm also basing this off of memory. There are things that might be missed or whatnot, so please bear with me on that. Alright, so they come back from the double save, being, I don't know, is she a reverend? I'm not sure. I don't know if she's a reverend or not, but they deem her as a reverend, so I'm assuming that she is. I might have missed that, but she was spouting some Bible verses about Evie and everything. Anyway, so they cut back to the next day, and Rue comes in. They have to do the mini challenge, which was the reading challenge. So just like the Snatch game, it was super dull, and we did get like this full on segment at the end with Silky. She was being so loud. She sounded like she worked at a barn or something like that. So I don't understand why they showed so much of her, because she was so, like, her reads were like not even that great either. Sugar was kind of funny. Evie was pretty funny. I think she might have had more burns, but they didn't really give a lot of these girls much edit this time. Plastique wasn't that great. Silky again wasn't too great. I don't know what that whole thing was when she was like, Rupaul! The whole time she was reading, even on Rupaul's face, you could see it. She was like, what the fuck? Akira was pretty good. And then we get to poor Nita, who's like having to explain her reads. I thought she was gonna excel at this, but because she's a comedy queen, and then I believe the last one was, the winner of the challenge, which was Brooklyn Heights. Now I think Akira should have gotten some extra credit for her snapbacks. Then we get the introduction to the Maxi Challenge, which is L.A.P, I believe, which was Los Angeles Drag Patrol. And they have to do a cops style improv scenes in teams of 2. Now, since Brooklyn won, she got to do the pairings. She paired herself with Nina because she knows she's not very strong at acting, and she knows that Nina is one of the best at acting. And not only is she the best at acting, she's one of the best at improv that's left in the competition. So then she proceeds to pair Evie and Akira. Then she pairs Vanjie and Plastique, and then Silky and Sugar. Now, I was a little worried for Sugar because we all know that Silky is a powerhouse when it comes to these type of challenges. She's just always at a 10 like Vanjie. Or actually, she can kind of progress her at a 10-ness. So they have to do an improv challenge based off of what characters Rue gives them. And they find out that they have to be filming scenes with the fine-ass Cheyenne Jackson and Fortune Fame Star. Now, I want to say Fortune is a rare regular where I work, and I have to say she is just a lovely person. She is really funny in person, very charismatic, and she is just a doll. I always love when she's on the show because she's funny, she brings it, especially for improv. Like, she's really good at this stuff. So then everybody's working on their characters and how they're going to base their story, where they're going with their story, their development, and then we get the Rue walkthrough. And now she goes up to Brooklyn and Miss Nina, and she was worried about Brooklyn because Brooklyn has a hard time coming out of her shell and like being over the top and pushing it at a 10. Well, that's why I picked Nina. And then Rue was all like, so was there any reasoning behind the way you paired the pairings? She was all like, I wanted everybody who doesn't have a bigger personality to work with a bigger personality. So then Akira was kind of like, are you saying I don't have a personality? Then she gets to Plastique and Vanjie. It's pretty much the same conversation with Plastique. Are you gonna be able to be at a 10 without going into your now tech lady accent? Can you bring something other than that acting dynamic? Then she was worried about Vanjie just being at a 10, and Vanjie was like, I know that I need to progress and I need to bring my 10 eventually, not come right in at a 10.
We get to Silky.
And Miss Sugar. And Rupaul kind of pointed out now, Sugar, are you gonna be, just like kind of Plastique, are you gonna delve out of Sugar? And are you gonna be able to be in a scene with a scene stiller like Silky? And Silky, are you gonna allow somebody like Sugar, who's not a scene stiller, some time? So that was the walkthrough. Then we get to the actual maxi challenge, which is L.A.D.P. And we get segments in between these scenes with Rupaul being like a 911 operator, having those stupid little weights, typing really stupid. I just kind of thought it was funny and cheesy as fuck. I like when RuPaul does this because it's kind of fun. So then we get the first defense, which is Silky and Sugar Cane. They are selling back alley butt pads. Now, Sugar is a character who got faulty butt pads from Silky, who's selling in the back alley. Now, Silky, I felt like she did a good job, but I felt like Vanjie, she was at a 10 most of the time. I mean, she did bring it down and level it down somewhat, just a little bit, but I feel like she didn't give enough room for Sugar to do what she needed to do. And I feel like since Sugar isn't comfortable in those acting situations in improv, at least to me, it didn't feel like she was comfortable with it. She resorted back to being Sugar, which made her character, who was supposed to be a religious widow, kind of ghetto and hood. So the character didn't really make sense. And again, I feel like she defaulted back into Sugar because she didn't know what else to do to make sure she was seen in a scene with Silky, who was being super overpowering, especially with Cheyenne and Fortune as well. And then we get to the next one, which is Brooklyn and Nina West. And they are trailer park neighbors having like a fight or a domestic dispute. Then we get Fortune and Cheyenne coming into Brooklyn, sunbathing naked, and she's just sprawled out saying the body is a beautiful thing, and she's selling this like super tree hugging vegan hippie like super well. Brooklyn definitely got out of her shell. I feel that Brooklyn let go so much that she forgot the Q word for Nina. So then Nina just had to come out on her own. And then we get the storyline that's not even Brooklyn's yard. That is Nina's front yard. And Nina played this really awesome trailer trash character. She was really funny in that character. She played very well with both the cops and Brooklyn. I thought they did very well together as a team. Nina definitely helped Brooklyn achieve what she needed to achieve in letting go. Then we get to the very atrocious Vanjie and Plastique, a literal kitty fight at a liquor store, and they are dressed up like extras from the musical Cats. And Vanjie did exactly what she said she wasn't gonna do and be at a 10 right off the bat and progress into it. And she didn't. She was 10 right off the bat. Now, in the confessional, Miss Vanjie was all like, I told Plastique that if she gets in her head too much or fumbles or goes blank to go up to the police officers and interact with them more physically. Now, just like Vanjie didn't want to be a 10 the whole time, Plastique immediately went up to Cheyenne and Fortune and just grasps on them. And even Cheyenne said that you can tell in her body movements that she was nervous. You can tell that the poor thing was nervous. When it was more at the end, it was more like okay, but she did what she didn't want to do and resorted back to her real voice, the nail tech lady. I'm really confused with this whole accent thing, which we'll get into. So I don't know if Vanjie was at a 10 because she got nervous in her head and just resorted, just like I feel like Suga resorted back to herself. Vanjie resorted back to I gotta be the scene stealer. Or I don't know if Plastique drew a blank so quickly and latched onto the cops so quickly that Vanjie was all like, well fuck, now I gotta bring this scene even more intense because Plastique is doing something that we said to do if you draw a blank, and it's already started. I didn't get the milk thing either. It literally made no fucking sense. Anyway, so last up was Akira and Evie, and they were being arrested for twerking on the streets, twerking on the streets. Yeah, now see, this one had a storyline. People don't understand in improv, you just get like a character. Like, you don't get really development. That's all up to you. That's what improv is. People working off of each other to develop a story. So that's exactly what they did. They thought of a storyline with their improv, with their characters, which I really appreciated. So I felt like they did the best besides Brooklyn and Nina. So we learned that Akira has been twerking on this corner for 35 years, and all of a sudden this new girl in town, Evie, who looked fucking fierce. Oh my god. She looks good as a hood rat, street rat. Oh my gosh, yeah she does. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little salty about Akira wearing that wig because she wore that wig with that really bad outfit. So then Evie is the new girl in town and she does not want Evie on her corner. Then they sit down and then we get development, even from the freaking actors, Cheyenne and Fortune. Fortune, so do you think you should be doing this? And we get at this development that she has wanted this life for professional reasons. She didn't want to be on the streets, but the streets were the best place for her because she kept being denied to the best, I think, twerking school. Then we come to find out that Mr. Marky Mark, was the person who was supposed to give her all this money because they fell in love. And then we come to find out that Mr. Wahlberg, Mr. Marky Mark, the rapper, was Evie's dad. And then we come to find out that that's Akira's daughter. And then they start twerking together, and then they start crying and twerking together, and it was fantastic. It was phenomenal. I really liked how Akira also started running and twerking, and she kept running from the cops, even though she kept saying, my back, oh, my back went out, and she like kept twerking through the whole thing. Oh, it was fantastic. And I love how Evie was twerking as she was being arrested, being put in the cop car. Then we get back to the workroom. They are getting ready in the makeup mirror for the runway, which is, I can't exactly remember the full name of it, I'm so sorry. It was, put it in the edit.
Skinny fantasy.
So they're all like talking about their performance, get to them questioning Silky, are you gonna do your makeup? She's like, I'm just doing a 10-minute face today because most of my face is gonna be covered. And they're like, well, you should still do your face because Miss Valentina had to take off her mask and she wasn't even like painted that much underneath her mask. Then we get to the runway and Miss Rupaul walks out in this minty green, she looks like a mint green tea, mint ice cream. Then we get the introduction of the judges, which are Michelle Visage,
Fortune Feimster,
the fine Cheyenne Jackson, and the most underrated, unbelievable actress, Natasha Lyonne. Slums of Beverly Hills, Party Monster, Orange is the New Black, Russian Doll, oh my gosh. But I'm a fucking cheerleader, one of my favorite movies. Tonight, she gets the shoot of all shoots because she looked fucking so good. Oh my gosh, she looked amazing. Then we get the runway, which I will be doing in another Goob and Noob video following after very soon. So then we get to the critiques and we find out that Nina and Evie are safe. Now, I feel like Nina should have been in the top because she did a phenomenal job with Brooklyn. Her runway was amazing, which I'll critique in the Goob and Noob. I feel Brooklyn would have not had succeeded had it not been for Nina, so I feel like she should have gotten more credit tonight. She was robbed once again. So those two are safe. We come to find out that Plastique, Vanjie, and Suga are in the bottom, and Brooklyn, Akira, and Silky are in the top. Now, they read Silky down for not having any makeup under the mask other than her lips done because she didn't even have her eyes done. They get to Suga and they read her on what we just saw. I was a little bit more nice about it, but her runway was amazing. They got to Plastique and they said that she got lost. She resorted back to Nail Tag Lady and Michelle called her out on it and she was all like, well, no, that's my real voice. And Michelle was like, no, this is your real voice. Now, I'm really confused with this whole thing and my own views of what they present on the show, not in their real life. If that is her real accent, then that's her real accent. I feel like if that is her real accent, I don't know why she came on and gave us a fake accent. I feel like she should have represented her culture a lot more with her real accent. She is on an amazing platform to do so. Then they read her for her face mask not covering most of her face like everybody else's. She stuck out like a sore thumb. And again, another corseted look. Then we get to Brooklyn, which they praise her for breaking out of her shell, commending her. Cheyenne and Fortune gave her praise and said that she was really fun to work with. They get to Vanjie and they said that Miss Vanjie was just Miss Vanjie out of 10. Right off the bat, even the judges called her out on it. When you are the same person in acting challenges where you're supposed to be another character other than yourself, which I feel like Silky should be read on too, because like Plastique is the same person, just like Suga is the same person. All the same person when they're in the acting challenges, and I have no idea why they don't get read on it. Like, yeah, they say that about Vanjie. They read her outfit from the bottom down being frumpy, and then we get to Akira, who was looking sickening in an outfit, a different interpretation on something that we've seen before, like Michelle said. They gave her praise as well. Fortune and Cheyenne both gave her praise. They both said that she was fun to work with. They said that she brought character development in a storyline. Now see, I thought she did a really good job too, and she deserved her praise, she deserved her win. Now, I liked this challenge, especially since we got like that horrible edit of a Snatch game, or horrible performance of a Snatch game, and then followed by a really bad reading challenge. But overall, this runway was a very strong themed runway. I am liking the themed runways that they're having to do this season. It's super creative and super amazing. I feel like they need to do what Drag Race Thailand and start making more outfits in the workroom. We need more sewing challenges. So then we find out that Suga is safe. Plastique and Vanjie are in the bottom 2. And they have to lip sync to, oh my god, I love Fantasia. Hood Boy by Fantasia. I just love her vibe, her music. It's so like R&B, but it's very like early 90s. Or was it an early 2000 song? I don't remember. So they lip sync, and honestly it was a little boring, I'm not gonna lie, because Vanjie kept relying on her ponytail to pull out moves. However, I feel like she was more authentic to the feel and vibe of the song. like when she was like doing this and getting down and like doing this with the lip sync. I kind of knew Vanjie was gonna win because I knew they were gonna do another double save, and I don't think they're gonna be doing a double elimination. From who's left, I don't think they're gonna be doing a double elimination unless the remaining 7 queens, unless 2 of them like really bomb and really bomb a lip sync. I don't see a double elimination coming, and they are just dragging this season out, girl, and we wearing us YouTubers out, child. Because for all of you that don't know, I don't own a computer. Well, I own a computer, but it's one of those more like tablet things, and the editing programs that I use, for some reason, it won't let me convert to the app on that computer or whatever, and it won't let me record from the app for some reason. They are dragging the hell out of this season, and my fingers are tired. But it's fun, I love doing it. And I love doing it for you guys. So, Plastique, I thought she was gonna turn it out more because she is House of Edwards. No Plastique can fucking turn a lip sync and turn a fucking show out. I've seen it online before. She is definitely a good performer. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if she got in her head. I don't know if she just didn't feel comfortable with the song, but she thought she was gonna do a little cutesy, oh, I'm gonna act like my mama. But the thing is, we've already seen Alyssa do that. We've seen Plastique do that already while Alyssa was here. So we've seen it again, just like we've seen her corsets. Then we come to find out that Plastique has to sashay away and Miss Vanjie gets to Shantae and stay. I feel like this elimination was correct. Miss Vanjie and Plastique did not do a very good job. They are both kind of just being one note and not really stepping outside of their comfort zone. I could have seen why this would have been a double elimination. I kind of felt like it was gonna be, but I don't see them kicking off Vanjie because honestly, like, even though she's not doing super well and bringing a lot of the same silhouettes, she's Vanjie. We all love her. She's super funny, and she is narrating this season the house down, child. Yeah, she is. Oh my gosh. All right, so I'm gonna talk about a little bit about Plastique's elimination now, so don't get on me too hard, everybody, please. Disclaimer, I say this over and over and over again. She is an amazing performer. She is beautiful. Push the house down. She can paint. Now, I'm just gonna go based off of what she presented on the show. She was bringing the same silhouettes, so that was like the 11th or 12th time with entrance looks and Meet the Queens that she was in the same silhouette. We've seen this like blackish kind of evil look on her 3 times now in the same silhouette. Didn't follow the challenge. I'm gonna be a little honest with you guys. I'm very confused with her accent, excuse, or whatever it is, excuse or not, I'm not sure what it is. Like I said, if that's her real accent, then that's her real accent. I already shared my opinion on that. I think from who is left in the cast, I didn't see her bringing much more growth, just like Silky and Vanjie. I don't see them pushing outside of themselves to rely on getting themselves to the competition. So again, based on who's left, I don't feel that Plastique could have brought in any more, and it was her time to go, unfortunately. So that was episode 9 for RuPaul's Drag Race season 11, L.A.D.P, Los Angeles Drag Patrol. What did you guys think of this episode? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you would like to help out the channel anyway or make any donations to the channel, go ahead and PayPal me at paypal.me/The Warehouse. Also, thanks for choosing The Warehouse and joining me, Brad, aka your Andromeda Queen 1014, for another recap review of RuPaul's Drag Race. Until next episode. Toodles.